Up first today are the Akron student athletes, Steve McNeese, Zeke Marshall, and Nikola Stenovich. We'll start with questions. Right down here.
Tom Gaffney, the Akron Beacon Journal. I guess Steve and Nick, it's your second time in the tournament and everything. How much more, is it more comfortable, or what are you feeling then? I guess Steve first.
I'm sure we're a little more comfortable than the younger guys, but we're excited too. So
It's definitely be excited to be back here and just enjoy it, and like Steve said, just a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more used to this, but just very excited still.
Zeke, how's your life changed in the last 4 days since being the MVP of the tournament, and a lot of exposure, a lot of talk about you and everything?
Really not a lot different in high school. All that media exposure is, since I've gotten that in high school, I kind of know how to deal with it. So I'm not letting it get to me. I'm really focused on trying to play well in this game Friday.
All right, last one. Just their size, too, is that what concerns you most inside?
Their overall size is a lot bigger than our team, but me in individualized, I'm taller than everyone. So I do have some slight concern, but I don't have any doubt that we're going to be able to play well against them.
Down here.
Hi, Al Lessar with the South Bend Tribune. Steve, in terms of a scouting report, where does it start with Notre Dame? Where does your defensive approach start with them?
well, they shoot it and pass it well. So I think it starts on the perimeter. Taking away their outside jumper as much as we can.
For Steve and Nick, just the whole Portland experience, how you can relate to what happened there and then translate it to here so you can use it to your advantage.
Well, as far as the whole process goes, with from Selection Sunday to dealing with a day like this, personally, I think, and the older guys too, we're a little more comfortable. And as far as last time we were here, we played a really good first half and then a pretty good second half, and for us, we have a little bit more confidence, I think, maybe than whenever we did it the first time.
I mean, it's a different story this year. I mean, like Steve said, we had a great game against Gonzaga. We're learning a lot from that experience, and I think this year that might show up in our maturity level and the way how we're gonna play, and again, it's just much more comfortable than 2 years ago. But again, very excited and really focused to play this game tomorrow and try to win it.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, thanks, guys. We have Akron head coach Keith Dambrot. Coach, you start with an opening statement.
Well, we're excited to be here, obviously. We've had a long road to get here. We struggled early, and probably most proud of this team of any team I've had as far as their resiliency to play better as the season went on. So as most of you that know me knows, we're not happy to be here just to be here. We're here. We're going to compete as hard as we can, and we're going to try to win the game.
We'll take questions for Coach.
Tom Gaffney, Akron Beacon Journal. Just a little bit, when we talked the other day about you compared it a little bit to the World Series or the NBA Finals. It's not a 7-game thing. It's a 1 game. Expound on that a little bit.
Yeah, most likely if we played Notre Dame 7 times, they would probably win the series. But we only have to win 1 game, and that's the beauty of sports. We have to play 1 great game. They have to be average, or we have to be good, and they have to be below average. And this team's been in enough ball games, 2 NITs, a CBI, and another NCAA tournament that, we've been in enough games that if we play well and they're average, we're going to win.
Can you tell the kids more relaxed than they were in Portland, do you think, or what are you thinking?
Tom, I've coached so long, I can't even remember Portland. I'm sure we're going to be relaxed. I mean, again, you can't go through what we've been through. They're excited. I thought Alex was about 100 miles an hour today, which was not surprising. But overall, our older guys have been here before.
What concerns you most about Notre Dame now?
Well, they're a terrific offensive team. There's no doubt about that. And probably one of the most skilled teams in the country, if not the most skilled team in the country. They're long in all areas. They're going to be hard for us to score on because they're so big at those wing spots in order to contest, they can contest jump shots and make it difficult for us. So I think the biggest thing is, can we score enough points to beat them? The games they've lost, they've been in this below 60 mostly. And I don't know if we can hold them below 60. But I don't know if we can score more than 75 either. So that's probably the biggest dilemma.
Last one, just Shaka Smart. I don't know if everybody knows it. You worked with him and at VCU. What does that mean to have him here? Will you see him very much, or what? Yeah.
Well, these guys are putting a lot of pressure on me, Tom. I got Shaka, who's the head coach at VCU, who wins an NCAA tournament game, and then Jeff Bowles is assistant at Ohio State. They're #1 in the country, and Lamont Paris is the assistant at Wisconsin. They're probably going to win their first tournament game. So if I don't win, they're going to say it's me. So, we're proud of those guys, really, and Shaka particularly. At 33 years old, he's one of the best young coaches, maybe one of the best coaches in the country, but we knew that when he was here.
Will you see him at all? I'm sorry.
Good.
Will you see him at all?
Absolutely.
Right down here.
Coach Al Lessar with the South Bend Tribune. In terms of a scouting report, where does it start? Where does your scouting report on Notre Dame start?
You mean individually or as a team or?
As a team first, and then maybe a couple individuals.
Well, it's not a difficult scout. They're going to run motion, and at the end of the motion, they're going to run a quick hitting play. And, the head of the whole thing is Hansborough, obviously, and the rest of them are good shooters, good drivers, good length. And they're a simplistic team, which most good teams are. Terrific coach. There's not many motion teams anymore in the country. So that's probably the biggest adjustment for us is we haven't really guarded a motion team all year long. So we had to get ready quickly in a 4-day period. So is it an easy game? No. I think anytime you play a team that has that kind of offensive capabilities, it's a difficult game. Like, for instance, last night, Shaka, VCU, they played USC, which is a great defensive team, but kind of lacked a little pop offensively. And for us, in our 2 NCAA trips, we got Gonzaga and Notre Dame, which are 2 of the best offensive teams in the country. So we're going to have to play terrific defensively and scrap and really do a great job to be in the game.
What have you learned about Hansborough in watching the film and everything else, trying to dissect his play, about how you deal with him?
Well, I think first and foremost, he's a guy that's built on intangibles, which is probably the biggest compliment you can give a player. Here's a guy that probably most people thought would be a role player in the Big East when he went to Notre Dame, and when he got there, he turned into one of the best players in the league, which shouldn't really surprise a lot of people because if you saw the way his brother played, he kind of plays just like his brother, only at a different position. So, we got to keep him off his right hand. He's terrific passing when he goes to his right. He's got a quick release on his jump shot. He's strong. He's tough. He gets into the passing lanes. He's just a good player.
Was there a team that you've looked at while you're watching the Notre Dame games that you kind of might compare to, your talent might compare to theirs and see how they approached Notre Dame? Were you able to find somebody like that?
No, I'm an old school coach, really. We have to do the things that we do, and we need to attack to our strengths, really, and believe in what we have, really. I mean, we have to do the same things we've done all year regardless of the opponent, really. We're not good enough to play away from our strengths. We have to play to our strengths. So in comparing Notre Dame, I would say the closest team that we've ever played to them is Gonzaga. That would be the closest comparison. And Gonzaga doesn't shoot the ball like them, but they were an offensive juggernaut, really.
Any other questions for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.